Let's take a nice deep breath together, gently in and gently out. This moment right here is for you, a space of calm, of stillness, where you are safe. You are welcome here just as you are. There is no need to fix anything in this moment. Simply allow yourself to be. I know there are days when it feels like the weight of the world is sitting on your chest. I know those moments when your heart feels tender, like it's been stretched and pulled too many times. And yet, here you are, still breathing, still open, even just a little, to the possibility of healing. That is such a beautiful thing. Emotional healing is not about pretending everything is okay when it isn't. It's about being honest, gentle, and patient with yourself. It's about offering the parts of you that feel wounded a warm embrace instead of criticism or blame. Sometimes we hold on to pain so tightly because we believe it defines us. But what if your pain is not who you are? What if it's simply something that happened, and now your soul is ready to grow softer, stronger, wiser? There is a quiet strength in healing, not loud, not always visible to others, but deep and true. Healing doesn't ask you to be perfect. It only asks that you be willing to notice the moments when your inner world begins to shift, willing to honor the small steps that others might not see, but that your heart deeply feels. Those moments matter. They are signs that something inside you is shifting, gently, lovingly, and forever. You may not have realized it yet, but emotional healing often begins when you start to feel safe enough to breathe differently. You may notice that certain memories don't sting the way they used to, or that a simple sunrise can move you in a way it hadn't before. These are not accidents. These are signs that your spirit is slowly unraveling the tight knots of old hurt. The way we speak to ourselves plays a big part in this process. When your inner voice starts to soften, even just a little, something wonderful happens. That quiet voice that once scolded or criticized begins to change its tone. It becomes more understanding, more forgiving. You might find yourself thinking, "It's okay. I didn't know any better. I'm doing the best I can." And that simple thought can bring tears to your eyes, because for so long, that voice might have sounded harsh or cold, and now it's finally beginning to sound like love. You see, the mind is like a garden. Whatever we plant there with our thoughts will eventually grow. If we keep feeding ourselves harsh words, we grow fear, resentment, shame. But when we begin to plant kind thoughts, even small ones like "I'm learning" or "I'm trying," we grow compassion, we grow trust, we grow space for peace. There's a little exercise I like to suggest, something simple but powerful. Each morning or whenever you catch your reflection, look into your own eyes and say, "You are safe with me." Just those few words, "You are safe with me." Say it softly, like you're talking to a dear friend. Let it be true, even if only for a few seconds at first. That small act of mirror work begins to build trust between you and your own heart. When the inner dialogue shifts, even slightly, your world begins to feel different. You start to believe that maybe healing is not as far away as it once felt. Maybe you are not broken, just carrying too much weight that isn't yours anymore. And maybe, just maybe, it's time to put some of it down. And as you begin to soften inside, you might also notice changes in your body. The body listens to every thought we think. It hears every word we whisper to ourselves. And when we begin to heal emotionally, the body begins to relax. There's a sense of ease that wasn't there before. Shoulders may drop, breaths become fuller. The tightness in your chest lightens, even if just a little. You may not notice it immediately. It could be subtle at first. Maybe you slept a little deeper. Maybe your stomach didn't feel as tight today. These are the body's gentle thank yous. Thank you for letting go. Thank you for speaking to me more kindly. Thank you for not rushing me. You see, the body holds on to emotions long after the mind tries to move on. It holds the stories, the memories, the fears. But when you bring in gentle thoughts, soft affirmations, and tender care, the body begins to believe it's safe to relax now. Let's take a moment together right now. Gently place your hand over your heart or maybe on your belly. Close your eyes for a second if you can, and just breathe. Don't try to change anything. Just be with yourself. Notice how the body responds to this kindness. You might feel warmth or stillness or even a little emotion rising. That's okay. It's all welcome here. This is your space, your moment, your healing. Our emotional scars often hide in the muscles, in the stomach, in the jaw, in the breath, and they start to dissolve when we stop ignoring them and start speaking to them with love. Sometimes the best medicine is not in doing, but in being with yourself, fully, gently, without rushing. One of the signs that you are truly healing is that your body no longer feels like a battlefield. It begins to feel like a home. And that home may be imperfect, but it is yours, and it can be filled with light. Sometimes we think healing has to be dramatic, a big moment, a loud release. But more often, it's quiet. It's the day you choose rest instead of pushing. It's the moment you say no when something doesn't feel right. It's the hour you spend doing nothing but sitting with your own breath. Healing is not always visible, but it is always felt. And the body knows. The body celebrates. It may not use words, but it shows its gratitude in ease, in flow, in the peace you feel when you close your eyes. And as your body softens, your heart becomes more open. And when your heart opens, your energy begins to change. You attract more peace. You begin to let go of what once felt impossible to release. You don't have to do it all today. But if today you noticed one small shift in your breath, in your posture, in your thoughts, then that is more than enough. You are already on your way. Just as the flower doesn't rush to bloom, your healing unfolds in its own perfect time. Trust that. Let these words settle into your being like a soft blanket. I am allowed to heal. I am allowed to feel good in my body. I am allowed to feel safe, even when the past was painful. I am learning how to trust myself again. My body is my friend. You are doing beautifully, even on the days when it doesn't feel that way, even when it feels like you're taking 2 steps back. Healing is not linear, it's a spiral, and each time you meet an old pain with new compassion, you move closer to peace. And now, let's talk about one more sign, one that's often misunderstood, but so powerful. When you begin healing emotionally, your boundaries begin to change, and not from a place of force or fear, but from a place of love. You see, when emotional wounds run deep, it's easy to fall into old patterns. Overgiving, over-explaining, over-apologizing. It's a way we try to keep the peace, to feel safe, to avoid conflict. But healing brings clarity. It brings the realization that protecting your peace is not selfish. It is sacred. And slowly, gently, you begin to say yes only when you mean it, and no when something doesn't align with your heart, not to hurt anyone, not to push anything away, but because you are starting to value yourself more. You are beginning to trust your own feelings, your own limits. This is a tender process. At first, it might feel unfamiliar. You might feel guilt rise up. That's okay. Guilt is just a sign that you're breaking free from old programming. It's not the truth. The truth is, You are allowed to honor your energy. You are allowed to say, that doesn't work for me right now. You are allowed to walk away from what drains your spirit. When your boundaries shift, your relationships begin to change. Some will deepen, some will fade, and that is all part of the process. Let it be. What's meant to stay will grow with you. What's meant to fall away will create space for something better. Try this. Take a quiet moment today and write down one boundary you wish to honor more in your life. It could be something simple. I don't check messages after 8 p.m. Or I need quiet time in the morning before talking. Or I take breaks when I feel overwhelmed. Write it softly with love. This is not a rule to control others. It's a promise to yourself. And as you keep these promises, you build trust within. And that trust becomes a foundation of emotional peace. Healing is not about becoming someone new. It's about remembering who you were before the world taught you to forget your worth. You are worthy. You are whole. You are healing. Let's sit with that truth a little longer, and we'll continue gently from here. There comes a beautiful turning point in healing, one that often surprises the heart. It is when gratitude begins to rise, quietly and unexpectedly, like sunlight peeking through clouds that have long hung heavy. It doesn't always show up in grand ways. Sometimes it's as simple as noticing the way the light falls across the floor or how a breeze touches your skin just right. You may find yourself pausing in the middle of the day, and for a moment, there's peace. And in that peace, a soft voice inside whispers, "Thank you." Not because everything is perfect, but because you are beginning to feel life again. This kind of gratitude isn't forced. It doesn't come from guilt or obligation. It flows naturally when the heart feels safe enough to open. And when it does, something magical begins to happen. Your perspective gently shifts. You start to see the gifts within the challenges, not to glorify pain, but to recognize how deeply you've grown, how strong your spirit has become, how tender your heart still is after everything. When gratitude returns, even in the smallest ways, it's a sign that healing is working through you. Like roots growing silently beneath the soil, you may not always see the progress, but you feel it, and it strengthens you. One gentle practice that helps nurture this shift is to keep a small gratitude notebook. Nothing fancy, just a little space where you write down 3 things each day that felt good, comforting, or peaceful. They don't have to be big. In fact, the smaller the better. A warm cup of tea, a kind smile from someone, the sound of your own breath slowing down. These are the quiet victories of healing. When you do this daily, even for a few minutes, you train your mind to see what's working, what's steady, what's beautiful. And over time, this new pattern begins to replace old ones. Where there once was worry, now there's presence. Where there once was resistance, now there's openness. That is the quiet power of gratitude. There's something else that begins to change when you're healing emotionally. Your inner world starts to make space for vision, for hope, for future, not in a way that escapes the now, but in a way that expands it. Hope is not naive. It's not pretending that difficulties don't exist. Hope is strength. It is the soul's way of saying, I know there is more for me. I know I am growing into something greater. And when you start to imagine new possibilities for yourself, when you allow your mind to wander gently into the future with curiosity instead of fear, that is another sign that your healing is becoming rooted. You may start to think about what brings you joy, not just what gets you through the day. You begin to dream again. You begin to create space for desire, for pleasure, for softness. And the most beautiful part is this: you don't need to have it all figured out. Just the willingness to believe that more is possible is already opening new doors. There's a quiet phrase you can speak to yourself, one that supports this vision. It's simple and gentle. I am open to something beautiful unfolding for me. Oh, let that phrase be your companion. You can say it in the morning while brushing your hair or making your tea. Say it at night as you rest your head. You don't have to know what the beautiful will look like. You only need to be open. That openness is the seed from which dreams begin to grow. You can also write this vision down. Not a plan, not a list of goals, just a feeling, a mood, a tone. Maybe write a sentence that begins with, "I would love to feel," and let your heart complete it. Maybe you'd love to feel more peace, more freedom, more joy. Let those words guide you. Let them live somewhere you can see them, on your mirror, on a note in your pocket, tucked in your journal. These are your vision phrases, and they help realign your energy with hope. And as this vision grows, it begins to influence how you move through the world. You may find yourself smiling more easily, being kinder to your own mistakes, allowing joy to find you instead of chasing it. These are quiet revolutions, and they are a testament to your healing. Now, with all these signs unfolding, so gently, so sincerely, it can be helpful to gather them into one soft daily rhythm. A small ritual, something you can return to no matter how the day feels. Think of it as your compassion circuit, a gentle path that honors your healing journey with presence and care. It doesn't need to take long, just 10 minutes if that's what you have. Begin by placing your hand over your heart and breathing deeply, in and out, 3 times. Let this anchor you into your body, into the now. Then stand in front of your mirror and softly speak a phrase of kindness, something like, "I'm learning to love you. I'm here with you." It doesn't have to feel perfect. It just needs to feel honest. Even if there's resistance, say it anyway. You are planting new seeds with your voice. Next, close your eyes for a moment and gently scan your body. Start at your toes. Slowly move up to your head. Just notice, no judgment. Is there tension? Is there ease? What needs kindness right now? Place a hand there, if you like. Offer yourself a quiet thought. You're safe now. Now open your gratitude notebook, or simply say 3 things you appreciate. Speak them out loud if you can. Even whispering them matters. I'm grateful for this moment, for the chance to grow, for the sound of birds. Whatever comes to you is perfect. And finally, return to your vision phrase. Speak it with love. Let it be your light. I am open to something beautiful unfolding for me. Let those words bless your day. This short ritual gathers all the signs of healing into one sacred space. It is your reminder that you are not starting from scratch each day. You are continuing a journey. And every time you show up with even the smallest act of care, you are telling your soul, I matter. My peace matters. My healing matters. You don't have to do all of this every day, but choose one piece, one part that speaks to your heart right now. Let it guide you. Let it hold you. This is how healing grows, through softness, through intention, through love. And slowly, gently, you begin to feel it. You begin to believe it. I am healing. I am transforming. I am free. Let's rest here for a moment, and then we'll walk gently into what's next. Let's rest for just a moment in this gentle energy you've created. You've made such beautiful space for yourself today. There's one more gentle piece I'd love to offer before we close this circle of healing. A deeper invitation into the power of affirmations, not just as words, but as daily companions on your journey. Affirmations are not magic spells. They are loving reminders. They are like warm hands placed on your heart, guiding your thoughts back home when they begin to wander toward fear or old pain. When chosen with kindness and spoken with feeling, affirmations gently shift the course of your emotional river, one thought at a time. The key is not to force yourself to believe them instantly. The mind may resist at first. That's perfectly okay. The deeper part of you is always listening, even when the conscious mind doubts. Each time you repeat a positive thought, you're sending a new message to your nervous system. I am safe. I am growing. I am not the past. And with time, the body responds. The heart responds. Your life begins to mirror this new message. Here are a few affirmations you might gently weave into your day, one for each of the signs of healing we've explored together. For your softening inner voice, I speak to myself with love and kindness. I am my own safe place. For your body beginning to relax, it is safe for my body to let go. I welcome peace into every cell. For your new boundaries, I honor what I need. Saying no is an act of love. For the return of gratitude, I find beauty in the smallest moments. Life supports me in gentle ways. For the vision you're growing, I am open to good things. I trust the path unfolding before me. You may speak these affirmations while brushing your teeth or while washing the dishes. You might whisper them in the car or in bed before you sleep. You can write them in your journal. You can tape them to your mirror. You might even carry one with you in your pocket, like a soft little talisman that brings you back to your truth throughout the day. And remember, it's okay if some affirmations feel distant at first. That doesn't mean they're not working. Just like a seed planted in the soil doesn't bloom the next day, your words need time, warmth, and repetition. Be patient with yourself. Every kind thought is a gift you give your future self. There's no right or wrong way to do this. If one phrase feels too much, choose a smaller one. Even something as simple as, I am here now. That one little sentence holds so much power, because when you are fully here, not in the past, not in the fear of the future, but here, you begin to reclaim your energy. You begin to gather your light. You are learning a new way of being, a softer way, a more loving way, and that is something to celebrate. So now we arrive at the gentle close of our time together, but truly, this is not the end. This is a beginning, a quiet beginning that unfolds every time you choose to honor your heart. Healing is not something you achieve. It's something you live moment by moment with care and intention. Some days will feel easy. Others may bring old emotions to the surface. That's all part of it. Healing is not about avoiding those waves, but learning to breathe through them, to hold yourself through them, and to know that none of them define you. They are simply energy moving, releasing, transforming. If all you do today is speak one kind word to yourself, that is enough. If all you can manage is one deep breath, that is enough. You don't have to do it all at once. You don't have to have it all figured out. Just take one step, one thought, one moment of care. Let that be the way. You are healing in ways that may not be visible, but are deeply real. You are changing the conversation inside your mind. You are relaxing into your body. You are honoring your truth. You are allowing gratitude to soften your days. You are opening the door to hope. And you are learning how to hold yourself with compassion, even in the hard moments. This is how the heart heals, not with force, but with love. So wherever you are in your journey today, take this with you. I am healing. I am growing. I am already enough. Let these words be the gentle background music of your life. You are not behind. You are not late. You are not broken. You are exactly where you are meant to be, learning, remembering, softening, rising. You are your own sanctuary now, and you are so very loved. Let's take one last breath together, deep in and out. Let the breath carry with it peace, ease, and a quiet joy for the path ahead. You are doing beautifully. Keep going, one soft moment at a time.